She already started it.
Okay, make sure that it's a new week, that you put Q1, week 5, today is Monday. Number 1, you can do it right on the paper. If it's a pyramid, you go from the bottom to the top. How'd I get to the 7? Well, what'd I do with the 3 and the 4?
Add it.
And then the 4 plus 5 is 9, 5 plus 3 is 8, 7 plus 9 is 16, 9 plus 8 is 17, so I needed to add 16 plus 17, which your answer should be 33. How long will it take you to bike 225 miles at a speed of 15 miles per hour? You need to set up on your lined paper, because I want you to set up equivalent ratios. So you would have 15 miles per 1 hour. That's how fast I'm driving. I want to know how long it will take to go 225 miles. Remember, miles stays with miles. I don't know how long that is, so that's my x. Then I do cross multiplication. So now I have 15x equals 225. I need to get x by itself, so I'm going to divide by 15. Divide by 15. So x equals, well, let's say I don't know 225 divided by 15. So I have to do 225 divided by 15. 15 doesn't go into 2, but it goes into 22 one time. So I need to subtract. 12 minus 5 is 7. Bring down the 5. 15 goes into 75.
5 times.
5 times. Which is 75. So my answer, x equals 15. Number 3 is exactly like we did with our number lines outside on Friday. So we're going to take a look here. The bottom line is what you do first. So I start at 0 and I go to a, what kind of 4? So I'm going to start with -4. Then I'm at -4 and I'm going back another 1. So it's minus 1 equals a -5. Or, and I do want you to have both of them written down, you start at a -4 and you're adding a -1. I want both written down though. I want both of them written down. You would be consider getting that right if you had one of them. But I want you to get used to writing both. Divide, express your answer in simplest form. We have been doing these now for days and days and days. So you should be able to write it out and have these done. So 1 and 7/11 divided by 2 and 1/2. Change the mixed number to an improper fraction. 1 times 11 is 11. 11 plus 7 is 18 elevenths. I'm just going to keep rewriting it as a division until I get my improper fractions finished. So 2 times 2 is 4. 4 plus 1 is 5. So I got 5/2. Then I do the keep, change division to multiplication, and we flip, and we call that really the inverse. I cannot reduce anywhere, so I just multiply. 18 times 2 is 36. 8 times 5 is 55. I cannot reduce this fraction at all. Number 5 says to convert 7/9 to a decimal by long division. 7/9. All you have to do is 7 divided by 9. You all should be able to do this. You should all see a fraction is a division problem. Set up the division problem. 9 does not go into 7. So I add a 0, decimal point. Bring the decimal point up and add a 0. 9 goes into 70, how many times? 7. Because 7 times 9 is 63. Subtract. 7 becomes a 6, this becomes a 10. 10 minus 3 is 7. Add another 0. Bring it down. 9 goes into 70 7 times. What's happening?
It's repeating.
It's repeating. So I can stop. So it's 0.7 with the bar over the 7. The 7 just continues to repeat. Number 6. You should at least be able to copy the problem like it is in the paper. Draw a line through the equal sign, because that's our magical line. Put a box around 3y, because the y, we don't want to move him. We want him to stay put. So now what do?
Add 4.
Add 4 to both sides. Nope. So if I add 4 to both sides, these, put a line through it because they scribble each other out. And 98 plus 4 is 102. 102 equals 3y. Now I'm going to put a box around the
Y.
just the y. Very good. And how do I get 3 away from that y? If it's, this is multiplying here, so we're going to do the opposite. So we're going to divide by 3. Yep, divide by 3. So let's say I can't do that in my head, so I'm going to come over here and just do 102 divided by 3. 3 goes into 10 3 times. 1 left over. 3 goes into 12 4 times. So 34 equals y, or y equals 34. You can check your work by putting the 34 in for the equation. 7 was something kind of new, but not totally new. It's the greatest common factor, which you guys have done that. We've done greatest common factors. But what's new about this is we are having letters with our numbers. So we have 18A and then 20AB. So when they start by putting in letters, to find the greatest common factor of both numbers, you want to take the number first. And you know how when we found factors, like we used to find factors of 18, like 1 and 18, 2 and 9, right? And we continue until we didn't have any more, right? We're going to take the 18A and find the prime factorization of it. So 2 times 9, 2 is prime, and then 3 times 3, which is 9. So the factors of 18A with the prime factorization, it'd be 2 times 3 times 3 times A, because there's the A with it. We're going to do the same thing with 20. And it's 28. I'm going to write it down one more. That's not going to give me enough room. So I'll just do it right here, 20AB. 2 times 10, 2 is prime. Then 2 times 5, those are all prime. So if I have 20AB, it would be 2 times 2 times 5 times, and then I have 1A times 1B. Then I go back and I circle the numbers that I have in common. I have a 2 and I have an A. So the greatest common factor of those two numbers then would be 2A. This is 2 times A. So whenever that you start getting letters with it, use a prime factorization to find your greatest common factor. number 8 says for us to expand 1/5 times the quantity 10x minus 25. What does it mean to expand?
Write it for, like write it.
You write it all out, but what property are we gonna use when we do this times this times that?
Distributive.
Distributive property. Good job, Ty. So then I'm going to take 1/5 times 10x over 1. Why'd I put over 1? Because 10 is a whole number. So I'm going to reduce my 5 and my 10 by 5. So that becomes a 1, this becomes a 2. The x is still there, so I have 2x. Then I'm going to have 1/5 times 25 over 1. Reduced by my 5s, that becomes a 1, this becomes a 5. So 1 times 1 is 5, 1 times 1 is 1. So you have it as a subtraction. So it's 2x minus 5 by using the distributive property. Go ahead, you can stop it. So go ahead and take